So what is the secret to strengthening your relationships and the impact relationships have on our brains?
It's a good question, isn't it?
That's $1 million question, Gabija, if you can
$1
solve that.
Yeah, so I think it's not a straightforward answer to that. So firstly, we need to figure out why we form relationships with certain people and what effect these relationships have on us. Hervé Hendricks, in his imago theory, proposes that the early childhood experiences form an image of what we later on use to find partners in the future, as it has to be certain level of familiarity to be drawn to a person. I don't know if it has ever happened to you that you met somebody which on paper it seemed like to tick all the boxes, seemed like an amazing person, but you just didn't feel anything for that person. It just didn't click, right?
Of course, yeah.
And that kind of, according to Hervé, it didn't match your image, imago, right? So it has to be certain level of familiarity. Now, issues with that is like if you had certain triggers in your childhood, like for example, if I know if your parents were critical or other kind of things that keep triggering your amygdala, and if you use that image to find a future partner, needless to say, you will end up with somebody who will press on your childhood wounds. So in order to kind of find and create actually successful relationship, firstly, we need to be aware that actually happiness and just things being super easy and happy is not really realistic all the time. Now, if things are just really hard work and, completely, driving us crazy, that's not great either. So somewhere in between where you kind of see that there is a relationship is really sound, it's where you want to be, and both people are on the same page, and people are prepared to work through those past patterns to create harmony, to create true friendship and partnership. That's an amazing start, right? And also kind of having realistic expectations on relationship. And sometimes we do just want a relationship to stay in romantic phase where everything is like we 100% focus on our partner, nothing else matters. We just want to do everything together. Whatever you want is fine by me. Exactly. But that's not realistic.
Yeah.
After about 6 months to 2 years, that phase ends. But if you expect that phase to last forever, you're doomed for failure. So the only way to make it last forever is to keep switching partners and just be in the romantic relationship all the time, right? But if you want to actually really real lasting, true partnership, so accepting that this phase will eventually end, then there is a power struggle phase where there is those wounds start coming out. We start pressing on the painful buttons, and we need to find a way to sort them out. So some things, maybe we need to adjust our behavior that we don't trigger those points as much. Maybe we need to find a way, honestly, talk about those things. And maybe that would be sufficient, and so on and so forth. Now, the third stage, cultivating true friendship, is probably the most important one. Really being committed to actually being there for other person and getting to know the other person. And that's what makes relationships really flourish in the later years, keeping kind of interest and attention on another relationship. And in my book, I share John Gottman's actually seven stages in creating that lasting relationship and cultivating that true friendship.